The Handler Protocol, Episode 7, The Mask People Fall in Love With. Most people are loved for who they pretend to be. My name is S. I am the handler. And one of the most painful realizations a human being can experience is discovering they built an entire identity around being accepted instead of being known. Because many people never learned how to feel safe as themselves, so they adapted, they performed, they studied people, adjusted personalities, changed tones, changed needs, changed behaviors, became easier to love, less emotional, less difficult, less honest, more useful, more attractive, more agreeable, more emotionally manageable. And eventually, they stopped asking, "Who am I?" and started asking, "Who do I need to become so people do not leave?" That is the mask. And most masks are not created through vanity. They are created through survival. Children learn quickly which emotions receive love and which emotions receive rejection. Which versions of themselves are safe? Which versions create conflict? Which needs become too much? Which feelings become burdens? So they adapt, and adaptation slowly becomes personality. Some people become comedians because humor kept tension away. Some become hyper-independent because needing people once became dangerous. Some become perfectionists because mistakes once cost them affection. Some become emotionally numb because vulnerability once became humiliation. And some become whatever everyone else needs, while secretly disappearing underneath the performance. That is the tragedy of identity masking. The world applauds the performance, while the real person underneath it slowly starves emotionally. And eventually, relationships become exhausting because maintaining the mask requires constant emotional calculation, constant monitoring, constant self-editing, constant fear that if people ever saw the real version, they would leave. That is why so many people feel lonely even while deeply loved, because love cannot fully reach someone hiding behind emotional armor. And the terrifying part is, sometimes the mask becomes so practiced that even the person wearing it forgets who they originally were before survival taught them performance. That is why authenticity feels terrifying to traumatized people, because authenticity risks rejection. Real intimacy requires visibility, and visibility feels dangerous to nervous systems trained to survive through adaptation. Some people are not afraid of being seen. They are afraid of being seen honestly, without the performance, without the emotional management, without the perfection, without the role, without the mask. Because they fear the real version will not be enough. But healing changes that. Healing slowly teaches the nervous system that connection does not require performance, that emotional honesty is not weakness, that authenticity is not danger, that people who only love the mask were never truly loving you to begin with. They were loving access to the version most convenient for them. And maybe that is one of the hardest truths inside emotional growth. Some relationships only survive while you are abandoning yourself to maintain them. Because masks create attachment, but authenticity creates connection. And there is a difference, a massive difference. Attachment says, "Please do not leave me." Connection says, "I can finally stop pretending around you." That is where emotional safety begins, not in perfection, not in performance, not in emotional suppression, but in the terrifying courage of finally allowing yourself to exist without constantly negotiating your identity for acceptance. Because the strongest thing a human being can eventually say is, "This is who I am," even if it risks losing people who only loved the performance. That is the mask people fall in love with. My name is S, and this was the Handler Protocol. Truth, pressure, transformation.